So here we've got the schema. In the middle, we've got the fact table, which got its own ID and all the other IDs from the different dimensions, and as well as the 3 backlist measures that we'll be using later on. So the different dimensions here are dimension company, dimension location, dimension time, dimension job category, and also dimension job type. And so now we will look at the starnet. We can look at the level of granularity for each dimension here. With company, with the company concept hierarchy, we've got all at the top and the company name. In the middle here is all the other company name. Here we've got the different job category, concept hierarchy. We've got all at the top as well as the other job categories. Over here, we've got the job type, dimension, and this is the concept hierarchy, all at the top, and the different types here. Location, we've got all at the top, and city, and then state at the bottom. And also here we've got time, which is a bit harder to see, but we've got all at the top, and then followed by year, month, day, hour, minutes, and second. So once we download the file, that's CSV, here we just use this function to extract the file and return the data frame. Here we are trying to look at the different variation of each column as well as the null values in each column. So that will give us some insight as how we could design our table. As we can see here, it shows the uniqueness of each column. So categories have got 30 different unique values. See, I got 65. Company name, we got 9,554. At the bottom here, it shows the value for each of the column. So most of them has no null values for each row. All right, here we are starting with the transformation process. Here I just wanted to duplicate the data frame into a new one so we can play with it without disrupting the original data frame. Over here, look at the category column as a first dimension that we want to work on. So first we copy and then here we want to show how many rows contained in each of the job category. So trades here have the most with 3,346 rows of a job listing that are under trades and service. We use the pd.factorize to separate the different values of this job category, and we want to put it into another table so that it becomes a dimension table for the category. So here we create the data frame with a column that has a name to show the different types of job category, and then we also include the ID on the side here. And then here we want to create a fact table. We want to populate it first with the fact list measures, which are the salary description, job description, and area description, which are basically the salary offered column, job description column, and also the state column from the original data frame. So we want to copy first, and then whatever values that are empty, that has NA in it, we will be filling it with 0, whereas the rows that has non-NaN, we replace it with the value 1. So in the end, we will end up with this column that has only 0 and 1s. I've changed the name of the state to area description because it is easier for us to understand. If a person mentions state, it usually refers to a small region within a country. But here we see the column is populated with areas within a city. Now for the other dimension table. So first we copy, and then we use the panda factorize. Towards the end, we have all the rows in each of these columns because in SQL Server data, the ID of the rows in each of the dimension below will add 1. So what that means is that all this in the fact table, the category ID, location ID, company ID, job type ID, and time ID need to be added 1, because later on in SQL, all the IDs in each of the dimension table will be added 1. So it starts from 1 all the way up. So here in the fact table, we've populated with not only the description, the salary description, job description, and area description, but also the different IDs from each of the dimension table, as well as its own ID. So now we can export the table in this manner to CSV file. All right, now we are going to look at the different tools that we've used here. So over here, we have the SQL Server. First of all, we create the database, and then we create the table using this query, and then we add the relation, and then we insert data. So we've got the Seek project. So we can see, if we look at, say, time dimension, we'll see the different level of hierarchy: year, month, day, hour, minute, and second. You can also look at the browser. So look at the hierarchy. So the year is 2018. Month, there's only one as well, April. the date is here, we have a few dates. So that is the hierarchy of the time dimension. And then from there, we can use the Power BI to visualize any business query that we have in mind. For example, here we've got a query that asks which hour of the day or what time most of the jobs goes listed on Seek based on the different jobs. So here we see that most of the jobs are being posted at 6 a.m. or 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. Those are the three most. And then from there, we can also see the amount of job type posted for each of the hour. Also, another example, what job categories does each company look for in the job market? So for example, we've got Jora Local. The job category that Jora Local looks for most is within the hospitality. They might go as well as other categories such as retail and consumer product, but most of it is hospitality.